Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Hold no punches.
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig? Today is Wednesday, March 18th, 2026. Coming up on Roland Martin Unfiltered, streaming live on the Black Star Network. Oh my goodness, House Democrats have revealed their plan to force Republicans to hold an up or down vote to end the Trump Republican shutdown to pay TSA agents. But They like, we ain't giving no money to ICE. Georgia Senator Jon Ossoff questioned the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. What he ended up revealing was, she ain't that intelligent. Folks, young Trump supporters are shifting their allegiance, but also what's going on with young black voters? How do politicians, or what must they do to speak to young black folks? We'll talk with the host of The Other Side of Change on the Black Star Network about why this is happening. Tennessee State Senator Charlene Oliver ripped a fellow Democrat, Bo Mitchell, for not seconding Representative Abini's request to bring their homes, not hedge funds, housing bill to the floor. Oh man, she just cussed his ass out. She joins us. 7 white Ohio deputies say rapper Afroman. He really hurt their feelings. He used her likeness without permission in his music videos. He said, wait a minute, I got the First Amendment to say what I want to say. Y'all, wait till we show y'all the videos. Wait till we show y'all some of the testimony in this trial. Oh my God, hilarious. It's time to bring the funk. On Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network, let's go.
He's got whatever the piss, he's on it. Whatever it is, he's got the scoop, the fact, the fine. And when it breaks, he's right on time and it's rolling. Best believe he's knowing. Putting it down from sports to news to politics. With entertainment just for kicks, he's rolling. Yeah, it's Uncle Roro, y'all. Yeah, it's Roland Martin.
Republicans keep saying Democrats are to blame for the long lines at airports because they will not fund a bill to fund the Department of Homeland Security because that includes ICE. Democrats are like, no. We'll pay TSA, but we don't give a damn about ICE. Well, today, House Democrat leader Hakeem Jeffries and his Democratic caucus, they launched their plan to fund most of the Department of Homeland Security, which includes the Transportation Security Agency. But they made it clear, ICE, until they are transparent and honest, we ain't doing a damn thing. And Republicans, if y'all want to keep complaining about TSA agents need to get paid, well then y'all need to vote for the discharge petition as well as fund FEMA, the Coast Guard, and other DHS agencies. Roll it.
We are gathered today on the Capitol steps in support, strong support, of paying TSA agents. Making sure that FEMA and the Coast Guard and our cybersecurity professionals who are keeping us safe are supported and can be put back on the job with pay. This is day 33 of the Trump Republican shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security. Why is this happening? It's because Republicans have decided to force TSA agents to work without pay, inconvenience millions of Americans across the country, and create chaos at airports rather than get ICE under control. That's what's happening right now in this country. And it's time for Republicans to stop holding the American people hostage to their extreme immigration agenda and to put the American people first. It's time to pay TSA agents, and it's time to pay them now. We believe in this great country of ours that taxpayer dollars should be used to make life more affordable for the American people, not to brutalize or kill them, which is what ICE has been doing. And so we have a choice. We can fund TSA, fund the Coast Guard, fund FEMA, fund our cybersecurity professionals, or continue to allow ICE to brutalize and in some cases kill American citizens, or to violently target law-abiding immigrant families. America deserves better than what we're getting from Donald Trump and extreme MAGA Republicans. And so we stand here today united, understanding that the country is at a crossroads. As Democrats, we want to move America forward. Republicans are trying to turn back the clock. We're working hard to bring people together. Republicans are tearing America apart. We want to make life more affordable for the American people, because America right now is far too expensive because of toxic Republican policies. Housing costs out of control, healthcare premiums out of control, gas prices out of control, electricity bills out of control, grocery costs out of control. America is too expensive, and Democrats are fighting hard to make life more affordable.
Folks, my panel, Brian Shapiro, host of Pushing the Limits. Joining us from Los Angeles, Joy Cheney, founder of Joy Strategies out of D.C. Glad to have both of y'all here. Listen, Brian, smart politics, and here's what's crazy. Democrats should have been using the discharge petition a long time ago. It is an effective weapon when you're in the minority to force a bill to the floor. And again, there are vulnerable Republicans who don't want to look stupid voting against the bill to fund TSA when people are waiting in long lines.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a huge win for Democrats. Obviously, Hakeem Jeffries and many of the other Democrats in D.C. are not going to be funding ICE, or at least they're not going to do anything to help ICE. That's for sure. This is a win for Democrats. And, you know, the midterms are right around the corner. We see what's going on in this country when it comes to our economy and these TSA agents. It's horrible. And they just had to deal with this not that long ago. Same deal. So I feel for them and what Hakeem Jeffries is doing. This is what I want to see from him. This is leadership. And this makes the Democrats look good, but this is also what the Democrats want. They want to be able to allow these people to put food on the table. They want these people to be able to get the checks that they deserve, while at the same time not funding ICE. And I think this is, like I said, Roland, I think this is a win-win. And I saw Hakeem Jeffries' comments live. I thought he did a really, really good job. And it was nice to see. And I think the American people are with him. Most of the American people are with him on this one. How could you not be?
You know, Joe, a lot of people complain, and they have been complaining since last year, about the leadership of Democratic leader Jeffries, saying, oh, my God, he's not the person for this moment. And I have consistently said to people that for the first 9 months or so, 2025, Democrats were sort of like, where do we go? What do we do? They were all over the place. But it was the government shutdown that gave them their sea legs, when they were able to lock and load on the issue of health care. And since then, between that, the Epstein files, we could go on and on, they've been doing this. And so I think people need to understand something, okay? Do you want this, you could say, I want this charismatic person who's driving messaging to be the leader. But they don't understand the Democratic leader is actually somebody who knows how to marshal the forces internally. And so the public doesn't quite understand, look, you may want this great spokesman, but that's not always the person who knows how to pull and keep folks together internally.
That's right. I mean, first of all, it's good to be on with you gentlemen. I worked for Harry Reid when I first worked in the Senate. He was certainly not, Kennedy orator. He was not orator. He was not as eloquent as some.
Girl, stop being so nice. That man was boring. He was not. Boy, if Harry Reid was your definition of electrifying, that means you were in a coma.
Exactly.
But he knew how to wield power.
Correct. And he was very powerful and very effective. And he would marshal those who had bigger voices, right? But what he did behind the scenes is what ultimately put wins on the books, right? For Democrats, and brought back a House and Senate that would then ultimately bring us in Barack Obama. So, you know, those things and the Affordable Care Act and so on and so on. So it's, you know, the skills that you need for the House and Senate that we are often looking for in our leaders. And so, you know, he might have had a tough start, but Hakeem Jeffries has certainly picked up on the fact that there are moments when the power of the majority is to hold the power of the purse. And by the way, they couldn't do any of this if Republicans didn't also agree with them to a certain extent. And at any point, if the Republicans want to fund TSA, they absolutely can. The discharge petition is one way. The other way is for them to fix ICE. They could make the changes, many of them bipartisan changes, that Democrats have been asking for. These are not outrageous things. They're not, you know, there are some who are like, just defund all of ICE, but most of the changes are about policy changes, that are about reviews, that are about stripping funding from some aspects of ICE. You know, there are really some moderate positions that are out there, and the Republicans are having none of it. They will not come to the table. So when you're not doing that, then the other side has no reason to come to the table on you. Bullying always has a limit. Donald Trump is realizing that. The Republican caucus is realizing that. They need to fund TSA.
Right.
And not fund ICE.
All right, so y'all might have heard Brian laughing or chuckling. We were talking about Harry Reid. His show, Pushing the Limit, airs on KSHP there in Las Vegas. He's on from 12 to 2. So, so Brian, you were laughing about that. And again, Harry Reid was not, I mean, he was not exciting you when he spoke. And there are a lot of people.
Donald Trump.
I mean, I hear people who complain about they don't like Jeffrey's hand movements. They don't like all of this. But here's what he's doing. He is putting Republicans on the defense. So if you're a Republican and you've been whining and complaining about long lines in TSA, he's saying, okay, here's the deal. All right? Because Democrats have already put forth various bills. Republicans have blocked in the Senate. What he's now saying is, okay, House Republicans, y'all now got to be on the record. So what you going to do? You going to say no? Or you going to say don't fund FEMA? Don't fund TSA? Don't fund all those other agencies except ICE? What y'all want to do? And if they vote no, they can't now try to put it on Democrats. Oh, it's your fault. No. We put the bill on the floor. What you going to do?
But Roland, it can't stop. Democrats need to continue to do this. Hakeem Jeffries needs to continue to do this. Listen, we're spending $2 billion a day on an ill-advised, illegal war. Hakeem Jeffries needs to continue to do. I like what I've seen from him lately, but I want to see consistency. As you guys said, you know, he got off to a little bit of a rough start. This needs to continue into the midterms, and it needs to continue into the 2028 presidential elections to not allow a MAGA Republican ever to get back into the White House. Need to talk about the war. You need to talk about the fact that they're taking food off the table, not just for TSA agents, but 20 million people, Medicaid. They're losing their Medicaid coverage. Millions of people losing their food stamps, helping the poor. This is something that the Democrats need to focus on and need to continue the messaging because, as you know, Donald Trump's poll numbers right now, not very good, in the high 30s or so. Among independents, I think the last stat I saw was around 26% approval rating for Donald Trump. Hakeem Jeffries, you need to put the pedal to the metal. The Republicans are in a really bad spot right now, and rightfully so. There's a lot of Americans that are unhappy with the war. They're unhappy with the economy, not just TSA agents, people all over the country, small business owners. Yes, I like what I'm seeing from Hakeem Jeffries. And yes, you're right about what you said about Harry Reid. I interviewed him a number of times, the late Harry Reid. Listen, I like the guy. He was quite boring. I'll be honest with you. He wasn't a very charismatic figure. He would always talk to me, Roland, about his amateur boxing days back in the day. He loved to talk boxing. But you know what? Harry Reid did a lot of good for a lot of people. Me being here in Nevada, as I've been here for 23 years, I got a chance to know the man very, very well. And by the way, I'm glad that our airport is no longer called McCarran Airport. It's called the Harry Reid Airport, and I'm very proud of that.
It is.
Yep.
It absolutely is.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
that's like a great example. It's perfect that we're on tonight.
But again, bottom line is this here. Bottom line here is Democrats must keep applying pressure to Republicans on here. Speaking of applying pressure, my goodness, there were a couple of hearings today. One of them had to do with the Director of National Intelligence, who's not really intelligent, Tulsi Gabbard. And she had to answer a series of questions, which was unbelievable. Man, Senator Jon Ossoff of Georgia was like really putting the screws to her, saying, where was the evidence that Iran was a threat to America? And if y'all want to listen to stupidity and somebody who doesn't want to answer the question because she knows that the real answer contradicts her idiot boss, Donald Trump, watch.
On March 1st of this year that this war was launched and was, quote, a military campaign to eliminate the imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime, end quote. That's a statement from the White House. Quote, the imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime. Was it the assessment of the intelligence community that there was an imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime?
The intelligence community assessed that Iran maintained the intention to rebuild and to continue to grow their nuclear enrichment capability.
Was it the assessment of the intelligence community that there was a, quote, imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime, yes or no?
Senator, the only person who can determine what is and is not an imminent threat is the president.
False. This is the worldwide threats hearing where you present to Congress national intelligence, timely, objective, and independent of political considerations. You've stated today that the intelligence community's assessment is that Iran's nuclear enrichment program was obliterated and that, quote, there had been no efforts since then to try to rebuild their enrichment capability. Was it the intelligence community's assessment that nevertheless, despite this obliteration, there was a, quote, imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime? Yes or no?
It is not the intelligence community's responsibility to determine what is and is not an imminent threat.
Okay.
That is up to the president based on a volume of information
it is precisely
that he receives.
It is precisely your responsibility to determine what constitutes a threat to the United States. This is the worldwide threats hearing where, as you noted in your opening testimony, quote, you represent the IC's assessment of threats. You are here to represent the IC's assessment of threats. That's a quote from your own opening statement. And so my question is, as you're here to present the IC's assessment of threats, was it the assessment of the intelligence community that, as the White House claimed on March 1st, there was a, quote, imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime? Yes or no?
Once again, Senator, the intelligence community has provided the inputs that make up this annual threat assessment.
You won't answer the question.
It is the nature of the imminent threat that the president has to make that determination based on a collection and volume of information and intelligence that he is provided with.
You're here to be timely, objective, and independent of political considerations.
Exactly what I'm doing.
No, you're evading a question because to provide a candid response to the committee would contradict a statement from the White House.
That child is trifling. Brian?
Oh, my gosh. I have a lot to say about this. First of all, Tulsi Gabbard is a coward, and it doesn't bring me any joy to say that about somebody who served. That's number one. Tulsi Gabbard, 10 months ago, as you recall, Roland, under oath, said that she had no reason to believe in our intelligence that they were furthering their nuclear capabilities. She said that under oath 10 months ago. Then what happens? Donald Trump bombs Iran. We obliterated their capabilities. That's what we were told 8 months ago. So we obliterated their capabilities again? This makes absolutely no sense. She's a coward. And by the way, she is doing just about what everybody else in the Trump administration does when they're under oath, okay? This coward won't answer a basic question, just like Pam Bondi won't answer a basic question, just like Kash Patel wouldn't answer basic questions, just like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. wouldn't answer basic questions by Democrats. That's exactly what she's doing here. And we've heard 5 or 6 different excuses as to why we went to war in Iran. First, we heard it was regime change. And then when they were told, well, wait a second, we have to put boots on the ground, Then they moved to, well, the civilians need to rise up. Then when that didn't work, then somehow we were told the civilians need to rise up. Then after we were told that, then we were told that they have these nuclear capabilities. Then Marco Rubio said Israel forced our hand. And now it's all about going after their ships. They can't even lie right. They can't even get their lies straight. And then you have a high up individual in the Trump administration who just resigned and said the reason why he was resigning is because Iran wasn't an imminent threat. And now they're trying to discredit him. This is a mess, but this is what happens when you put incapable people and incompetent people in high, powerful positions like the Pete Hegseths of the world and others. And Donald Trump is saying we did this on a whim. We did this on a feeling. And our innocent soldiers, Roland, as you know, are dying. Thousands of innocent people have died in Iran. Innocent people are dying in Israel. We're spending $2 billion a day on this war while they take medical benefits away from Americans. This is a disgrace, and even MAGA are finally starting to smell the roses a little bit and realize, maybe this wasn't America first after all.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, Joe Kent, his letter, if you have not read it, if we can put it up, I wish we would. Director of National Intelligence, National Counterterrorism Center. He was their director. He was their handpicked guy, okay, who was advising her on these issues. And he had to come out and say, I cannot support this. He effectively is saying they are lying to you. That is not an insignificant thing. So, while I know Tulsi Gabbard was there today, I almost wished that, this had been him, because I think that is the more interesting story. What is he hearing and saying inside? And he also shared this with the vice president prior to making this resignation and making it public, because he wanted to be on record. And so that no Republican can hide and say, oh, well, I didn't see that. Everyone saw that. Everyone understands what's going on here. We were not taken advantage of by Israel. This is, yes, they were constantly shopping for this. But this is what Donald Trump did because he needed a distraction from DHS, a distraction from ICE, a distraction from the Epstein files, a distraction from the failing economy. And he's willing to put American lives at risk in exchange. And kudos to the rest of the world, and kudos to the American people who are saying, no, we don't believe you. We see with our own eyes what this is. And his own people, finally, they're starting to come forward. And Tulsi Gabbard is an example of not just what happens when people are incompetent, but also what happens when people are compromised. When you find people who can't get jobs anywhere else, who can't have self-respect. Look at so many of the people who are the heads of his agencies. Right. Many of them are people of ill repute.
Well, they ain't the brightest bulb in dark rooms. No. And speaking of that, Virginia Senator Mark Warner challenged Tulsi Gabbard on why the hell was she in Atlanta when the FBI was picking up those ballots. Listen.
Director Gabbard, the whole country knows that you were recently involved in a FBI operation to seize ballots in Fulton County, Georgia. Yet this was despite the fact that the warrant showed no foreign interference or nexus. Matter of fact, the warrant was based entirely on conspiracy theories that have already been examined and rejected repeatedly. Now, where is the authority for you to involve yourself in a domestic law enforcement activity?
Thank you, Vice Chairman. I appreciate the question. As you know, I've addressed every issue you've raised in detail in a letter, but I'm grateful for the opportunity to do it in this forum. As you stated, Congress provided by statute ODNI with the responsibility of election security and counterintelligence in 2021. As you also know, ODNI has purview and oversight.
I know the history very well, but could you just
I am addressing the question. ODNI also has purview and overview over two domestic-related agencies, the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI, both of which have purview over election security responsibilities to ensure the integrity of our elections. I want to correct one of your statements that you've made multiple times, which is false. I did not participate in a law enforcement activity. nor would I, because that does not exist within my authorities.
You were present on the scene. Are the photos of you on the scene false?
I was at Fulton County, sir, at the request of the president, and to work with the FBI to observe this action that had long been awaited. I was not aware of what was in the warrant or was not in the warrant.
And what was the president's specific request for you to go to? What was the specific request that was made by the president for you to show up in Fulton County?
To go and observe the FBI's activities on this issue.
So why?
When you look at the fort, your question, sir.
Do you have the answer why the president was knowing about this affidavit before it was even served?
I'm not aware that the president knew about an affidavit before it was served.
Then why was he sending you to Fulton County?
This occurred the day that the FBI had it approved, their warrant approved by a local judge, and they began to execute this.
And you just showed your ass up. I mean, come on. I mean, these people, again, are just unbelievable stupid when it comes to, and they think we're stupid. Like, they think we're nuts listening to them spew their nonsense. No. Y'all are crazy. This ain't on us. This is y'all. And so, okay, all right. So, y'all, that was another hearing taking place, y'all. These folks are crazy. Y'all, when I say crazy,
Mullin is a complete imbecile.
Markwayne Mullin, who's a senator from Oklahoma, who Donald Trump has picked to be his Department of Homeland Security secretary. This fool here, y'all, was asked a number of things. And it got real chippy between him and Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky. And that's how things got kicked off. And when I say get your popcorn, if you missed it, I hope y'all enjoy this.
Good morning, everyone. I entered the Senate the same year that Representative Gabby Giffords was shot. I knew then that the state of political rhetoric was encouraging violence. I think it's imperative now, more than ever, that the leaders in our country disavow violence and lead by example. Through the years, I've personally been exposed multiple times to political violence. I was in the right field batting cage when the crazed shooter unleashed nearly 200 shots at our congressional baseball practice. I'll never forget Steve Scalise valiantly trying to drag his body away as the gunman continued. Later that year, a Trump-hating felon attacked me from behind in my yard. I was just straightening up from picking up a tree limb. I was wearing noise cancellation headphones, never saw him coming, running pell-mell down the hill. I was struck in the back. The force of the blow sent us through the air nearly 10 feet, down the hill until his shoulder impaled me as we hit the ground. 6 of my ribs were broken. 3 of the ribs were completely separated, such that for weeks, the ends of the ribs would grind upon each other. My lung was damaged. For weeks, I could inhale but not have the rib strength to exhale. I developed 2 pneumonias. The pain was such that I could only sit up in bed by tying a rope to the foot of the bed and pulling myself up. But even then, the pain was that of 1,000 knives. Over the year of recovery, I began to cough up blood. I underwent removal of part of my lung. Complications led to an infection in the space between my lung and chest wall. I spent a week in the hospital having the infection lavaged every 6 hours through a chest tube. Recently, Senator Mullin, if you have time to listen, you were confronted by constituents that were angry because you voted against my amendment to stop all funding for refugee welfare programs. Instead of explaining your vote to continue these welfare programs for refugees, you decided to transfer the blame. You told the media that I was a freaking snake and that you completely understood why I had been assaulted. I was shocked that you would justify and celebrate this violent assault that caused me so much pain and my family so much pain. I just wonder if someone who applauds violence against their political opponents is the right person to lead an agency that has struggled to accept limits to the proper use of force. You might argue you were mad and upset about being confronted by your constituents. But Senator Mullin, your constituents are justifiably upset with you. By now, most of America knows that the Somali welfare fraud in Minnesota stole over $9 billion. But instead of defending your vote, you took to continue the vote to continue these refugee welfare programs. You chose to lash out at me. You went on to brag that you'd already told me to my face that you completely understood and approved of the assault. Well, that's a lie. You got a chance today. You can either continue to lie or you can correct the record. You have never had the courage to look me in the eye and tell me that the assault was justified. So today you'll have your chance. Today I'll give you that chance to clear the record. Tell it to my face. If that's what you believe, tell it to me today. Tell the world why you believe I deserve to be assaulted from behind, have 6 ribs broken and a damaged lung. Tell me to my face why you think I deserved it. And while you're at it, explain to the American public why they should trust a man with anger issues to set the proper example for ICE and Border Patrol agents. Explain to the American public how a man who has no regrets about brawling in a Senate committee can set a proper example for over 250,000 men and women who work at the Department of Homeland Security. Senator Peters, you're recognized for your opening comment.
Well, thank you, Chairman Paul.
Department of Homeland Security has the mandate since.
That was hilarious.
Wow.
And they were going at it. And old boy was like, nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. I don't really give a damn what you got to say. In fact, listen to this.
Any kind of self-awareness that you're going to be leading thousands of men and women who will have the use of force, and there's been great questions in our country about how that will be used, and you think a violent attack is just fine. So I guess my first question is, do you think that justifying that kind of violence sets a good example for the men and women of ICE and Border Patrol?
Mr. Chairman, first of all, I didn't know the extent of your damage. When the phone call was made, I made it to you and I tried to talk to you. You didn't engage at all. In fact, you said, get your paperwork in. It's got to be in 3 days in between.
You offered no apology.
Sir?
And you offer no apology today and no regrets. Haven't heard the word apologize, haven't heard the word regret, haven't heard I misspoke and it was heated and I made a mistake. Haven't heard any of those words.
Sir, actually, it wasn't heated, and I'm not apologizing for pointing out your character.
Good. So you're jolly well fine, and you want the American public and the people up here to vote that may or may not vote for you to know that you supported the felonious, violent attack on me from behind.
I did not say I supported it. I said I understood it. There's a difference.
So that means you really didn't approve of it, just completely understand it. What do you think most people would interpret completely understand to be support for or a condemnation of the violence?
Sir, as I said, we can have our differences. It's not going to keep me from doing my job as Secretary of Homeland Security. I'm going to secure Kentucky and take care of Kentucky as much as I am Oklahoma.
If this were a one-off, it would be one thing. If you just disliked me so much that you approved of violence against me, people could just write it off. Well, maybe they hate each other. But really, there's a pattern of this. Let's go ahead.
Y'all, they were just going at it.
Wow.
And Rand Paul was just sitting here, just slanging and banging. But then also, this guy's also a liar. And because, watch this. And so Senator Gary Peters of Michigan challenged him about lying about foreign travel.
Other than on vacations with your family, have you ever traveled to a foreign country?
No.
You've never traveled to a foreign country?
Outside of vacation or mission work? No.
Okay. Have you, your FBI report does show some travel. I think it was to Georgia and Azerbaijan. You marked that was not for tourists.
Are you referring to August of 2021 when we went to go get the Americans out of Afghanistan?
I'm just
That's
saying.
what that travel was for, which
Okay.
we did
So
clarify that.
You have traveled. So you've traveled to Azerbaijan and Georgia. That was in your FBI report, although you just said you've never traveled.
Sir, we were I thought you was referring to a different time, but in 2021, it was well documented. In fact,
Okay.
it was all over the news, and I actually did say that, and we put that down on the report. But that was us, which was all over the news, trying to go with a extremely experienced team.
I've got other questions, thank you. But so you have traveled overseas despite your previous comment.
Like, no, answer the question. Yes or no? This guy, remember, this is also the guy, Brian, who challenged the Teamsters president to a fight.
Right.
Yep, I remember that. I remember covering that. And this is the guy who should be leading DHS. Listen, I thought Kristi Noem was the worst, and she was. But I can't believe I'm about to say this. I actually think Markwayne Mullin is worse. The guy has no life experience. As you just mentioned, he challenged somebody to a fight in the chambers. This is the guy who acted like the coward that he is on January 6th, if you recall. This is what's even worse, Roland. He was asked multiple times today, who won the 2020 election? Who won a free and fair election in 2020? Couldn't answer that. All he said was, well, Joe Biden was sworn in. The guy who's going to be maybe leading DHS can't even say with a straight face that Joe Biden won a free and fair election. And this is the guy that's going to be leading? I mean, this is embarrassing. The only life experience that this guy has, and listen, I have respect for blue-collar workers and for plumbers. This isn't a knock on plumbers. But the only thing this guy has ever done in his life with little education is take over his dad's plumbing business. And this is the guy that we should be listening to about foreign policy on Fox News. This is the guy who's going to be leading 250,000 people. This is a joke. I have a feeling that Rand Paul probably won't be voting for him. I rarely ever, agree with Rand Paul on a lot of different issues, but certainly I agree with him here. The guy was beaten to a pulp. And you have Markwayne Mullin who won't even apologize? I understand. This is the type of rhetoric that got us into January 6th. I understand why people did that. I understand why they were so upset. I understand why they beat police officers with their own batons, hostages, patriots. I just cannot believe that these are the people that are going to be in these powerful positions. I don't even know how this guy got elected to begin with. There's a lot of idiots who voted for this guy. I'm sorry. I don't know how anybody like this can get elected. And I'm going to give this guy the award for maybe the dumbest person in Washington, D.C. There are people that are smart people that are bad people. And then there are people like Markwayne Mullin who are bad people and extremely dumb. He is an extremely stupid individual, and he's a liar. And I think he's actually more dangerous to this country in this position than even Kristi Noem was. That's my personal opinion. And I can't believe I'm saying that, but that's how I feel.
Remember, Markwayne Mullin is also, y'all remember this happened here. Go to my iPad. When Congressman Al Green held up the sign, that was Mullin who was trying to snatch it from him, and they had words. So that happened right there.
Yeah. Which is a violent
he's
act,
got anger issues.
right? Right.
Yeah.
He has anger issues. That was a violent act, right? He created apprehension in Congressman Green. He tried to physically take something away from him. That is not behavior that we want in anyone in a position of power. It's okay to have passion. Violence is totally unacceptable. Again, I agree with my co-panelist here. Not a big Rand Paul fan. Definitely don't think he should have been attacked in any way, shape, or form. That a member of his own party, and really any member of the Senate and leader, would go out there and tell others that they understood why he was attacked. We expect our leaders to rise to another level and say, you know what, no, we don't believe in violence, political or any other kind. That's never acceptable. And then when given an opportunity to, because people do, Rand Paul can be infuriating. People do make mistakes. Then you correct it. You say, you know what, that was crazy. I misspoke. I apologize. And a real man always can apologize. What I don't understand about these people is that they don't seem capable of maturity. A mature person understands how to get themselves out of a bad situation, even one where they're asked an awkward question about their boss and whether he won the election. The answer is, yes, he did. He lost. The other guy won. He was, we're moving on from that. Furthermore, the most concerning thing about the whole hearing for me was not these political, hijinks. It was that he did not make any commitments to make any significant policy changes to ICE. This is a problem. He seemed to be focused on getting ICE out of the news, but that's not what we're looking for. It's not just getting ICE out of the news. It's improving the way ICE is enforcing immigration in this country.
Well, bottom line
is unacceptable.
Bottom line is what we're dealing with here is another nut case. And listen, they're at home, this administration. All right, got to go to a break. We come back. Lots to talk about. Y'all, I cannot wait to talk about this Afroman defamation case. Oh, the videos are amazing. And a decision has been rendered in the case. I'll tell you about that. Folks, you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Don't forget to support the work that we do. Join our Bring the Funk fan club. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing on average $50 each a year. That's $4.19 a month, 13 cents a day. You support this show and the other 5 shows here on the Black Star Network. Use the Stripe QR code. You see it right here. Use that if you want to use Cash App. That's also credit cards. Checks and money order. Make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered. P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037 0196. PayPal, R Martin Unfiltered, Venmo, RM Unfiltered, Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com, Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Back in a moment.
With medicine and science under attack, I want to keep you and your family informed and healthy. I'm Dr. Ebony Hilton, and I knew at the age of 8 that I wanted to be a doctor. So I studied hard and became the first African-American female anesthesiologist hired at the Medical University of South Carolina since its opening in 1824. And I always say I was made into a doctor, but I was born to be a mom. And as a new mom, wife, sister, daughter, and friend, I understand how frightening a medical crisis can be. I care for individuals on some of the worst days of their lives, and it's my mission to provide you with a safe space to gain clarity on issues affecting your mind, body, and soul. I recognize that there are health disparities, particularly as it pertains to race, and I want to help bridge the gap between you and your healthcare providers. Join me every Thursday for Second Opinion on the Black Star Network, where each week I'll invite experts from various medical fields to share the latest health news. We'll discuss topics such as the vaccine debate, mental and sexual health, medical bias, infertility, menopause, andropause, nutrition, and aging. Together with my medical colleagues, we aim to provide you with a second opinion. Don't miss it, Thursdays only on the Black Star Network.
Hi, I'm Swing Cash, Basketball Hall of Famer, and you're watching Black Star Network.
Folks, in Illinois, Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton has won the Democratic primary for an open U.S. Senate seat. If elected, she will become just the 6th black woman in United States Senate history and the 4th African-American in Illinois. 3 of those were elected. She was backed early by Governor J.B. Pritzker. She beat out 2 sitting members of the U.S. House to advance to the November general election against Republican nominee Don Tracy, the former state party chair, in a very, very blue state.
I'm Juliana Stratton. I'm so proud to serve as your Lieutenant Governor. And I am humbled and honored to stand before you tonight as your Democratic nominee for the United States Senate. We did it. Tonight we showed what's possible when you listen to the people and give the people what they want. You got it.
She was opening after a longtime Senator Dick Durbin decided to not seek re-election. All right, I just love it when folk just go ahead and just say what's on their mind. Tennessee Democratic State Senator Charlene Oliver, man, did she go there. She's putting her own party on notice. So, y'all, Oliver took to her social media to blast fellow Democratic State Representative Bo Mitchell after he supported blocking her bill. The bill was the Homes Not Hedge Funds Act. It died in a House subcommittee after Representative Bo Mitchell refused to second the motion. While Mitchell called the measure Trumpian in nature, Oliver, who had already secured bipartisan support in the Senate, says he killed the bill because he was petty. Okay. Here is the post. She posted this on Facebook as well as on her Instagram page. She got right to the point. Fuck you, Bo Mitchell. That's a quote. That is a quote. She was there. Senator, y'all, we have Senator Oliver. All right, Senator Oliver. Well, you dispensed of all niceties.
There's nothing nice about what the world we're living in right now. So I don't have time for the games. And I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. There are people in my district and across Tennessee who are begging for something like this, a bill like this to pass. Affordable housing is a real crisis in Nashville, where I represent. I represent a district that is cost burdened by rent. And Bill Mitchell, my colleague, Democratic colleague, blocked progress.
And so what's crazy to me is, so first of all, so explain to people what this bill would have done.
Yeah, so the Homes Not Hedge Funds Act would have limited Wall Street corporate investors from buying up the supply of single-family homes in the largest counties in our state. It would have limited them to no more than 100 single-family homes that they can purchase and rent out. Therefore, helping homeowners get a fair shot at purchasing a home, because what's happening is inflation is going through the roof because our residents are getting outbid by these corporate investors that are out of state, driving up the home prices. And so this would have been an affordable housing bill that gave more opportunity to first-time home buyers. And it was bipartisan support. Yes, there was an executive order that came out by the White House, but I've been running this bill since last year, well before the White House got on board with this idea. And so we were trying to answer a mandate from our constituents to bring down prices in the market.
And you said you had bipartisan support?
Yes, so I was the author of this legislation. I ran it in the Senate, and to my surprise, my colleagues did enjoy this legislation and voted it with only one Republican not voting for it. It almost passed nearly unanimously on the Senate floor last week. So for my colleague, my own Democratic colleague, to kneecap me was something I just wasn't expecting. And so I needed to give him a response that he wasn't going to expect.
So, okay, so he didn't second it. Was he the only other Democrat? Could somebody else have seconded the motion?
So, there are these unspoken rules that we have in our legislature. First of all, we are in the South. I don't think people realize how hard it is to pass legislation in a super minority position. We are in the Tennessee legislature. There are only 6 Democrats in the Senate. There are only 24 in the House. So to have 2 Democrats on one committee is a miracle to begin with. So when a Democrat doesn't second your bill, they are setting you up for failure. It is something that you just are supposed to do, is give your colleagues the courtesy to second the motion, to give it an opportunity to be heard. Representative Bo Mitchell didn't do that for me. And so, yes, there were only 2 Democrats on the Cities and Counties Subcommittee in the House. Representative Vincent Dixie, motioned the bill, and he was supposed to second it. Could a Republican have seconded it? Sure. But in this climate, it is customary for Democrats to stick together and stay united. He didn't do that.
How have fellow Democrats responded? They stand with you?
Almost nearly the entire state has stood with me. And it's very clear that this was done out of spite. It was done out of pettiness. I don't know if it's because the 2 sponsors are women. I don't know if it's because the 2 sponsors worked on a congressional primary last year in which he also ran for a congressional seat and he lost. But it was very clear his actions were not about the merits of the bill. My colleagues have supported me. In fact, my Democratic colleagues helped to work to try to get this bill passed under another legislative caption. And so we're still working on that. But, the response has been overwhelmingly on my side. People saw this for what it was. You just don't do that. Bo Mitchell broke the code. If we're talking in street language, he broke the code, and that's just one of those cardinal sins you just don't do, is to, especially to another fellow Democrat. So this just speaks to, like, you know, I would compare this to the John Fetterman in Congress. He's the John Fetterman of Tennessee, because we have people in our party. It's clear that he is not working in the best interest of the people, but he's working in the best interest of his donors. He takes a lot of money from developers. He takes a lot of money from predatory lenders. And it needs to be called into question whether he is truly a Democrat.
Questions for the panel. Joy, you first.
Yes, I mean, this is really unbelievable. Okay, so I'm going to be honest. Woo, that language was a lot for me. But, you know, sometimes you have to match energy. And what he did was definitely unheard of, right? It was not something that we expect, especially on a small, you know, you all are supposed to be close-knit. So I'm so glad that you put that in context. You know, what are the next steps for you? And also, what is the state Democratic Party saying about whether they can support him going forward? Because didn't he run for Congress?
He did run for Congress, and that should have been a sign right there. He didn't make it out of the primary, that he is not the candidate or the type of leader that Tennessee needs or wants. So in terms of next steps, I will be working when we are out of legislative session to make sure that his district has better representation. You know, I've heard from a lot of his constituents that he is not the person that they thought he was. And I'm going to keep fighting. My colleagues are supporting me to try to get legislation through. So I'm going to keep working at that before we end session this year. We're on our second year, which means any bills that don't make it out of session this year, you have to start over from scratch next year, because we're in a 2-year cycle. So, and I think it's context is very important here. It's okay. You know, you can look at what I posted and say, oh, it was vulgar. Oh my gosh, what she did was out of the norm. But if you knew anything about Representative Bo Mitchell, you would know that
we saw his
he
response.
deserves what he can. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
he has been like this for years, and he just got the wrong one on the right day. And he has treated numerous of my Democratic colleagues like this. In fact, this is not the first bill that he killed of mine this year by not seconding the motion. So this is a pattern of behavior. This is not an isolated incident. And a lot of people in this building knows that and thanked me for what I did.
Brian?
First of all, I just want to say I have no problem with the way you responded. If anybody has seen any of my videos on social media, when I get into it with MAGA Republicans, I match their energy sometimes. I think sometimes we have to do that, right? And I love Michelle Obama. She's such a wonderful human being. But that was a different time when she said, when they go low, we go high. What's amazing to me is I feel like this type of behavior, usually you expect that from MAGA Republicans. You normally wouldn't expect that from a Democrat. That's what's even more shocking to me. But I wanted to ask you, I feel like in politics in general, I feel like sometimes these people treat women different than men. They talk differently to them. They speak differently to them. And I wanted to ask you about that. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think if you look differently, if you were a different gender, that you would have been treated differently?
You know, dare I say, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it's hard enough just being a Democrat up here, but being a young Black woman who is in the minority is even harder. The things that I have to navigate just to get a bill passed, and I have passed legislation, but just to pass legislation, let alone legislation that was bipartisan and transformative for our districts, is even harder. And so had I been a white man, yes, there's a good old boys club up here. I'm not in that club. So I have to work 3 times harder, if more, just to navigate the spaces and places in this building to get legislation passed. So, and yes, Bo Mitchell is in that good old boys club, and that's how he acts. I'm not ashamed to call him out. here on how his behavior has been detrimental to our party. He has worked against multiple women to be successful. Like I said, he's upset that he lost to a woman in the primary. And yeah, it would be differently probably if I looked like him.
Yeah. He's a misogynist. It just sounds like he's a misogynist. And it's really sad that any woman would even vote for somebody like this. You know, I mean, I say that a lot about Donald Trump. And from what I hear from this guy, I would say the same about him, too. I don't know how any woman could vote for somebody like that. But I'm glad you're standing up for yourself, because how are you going to defend your constituents? First, you have to defend yourself. And you've clearly done that. So I think that's a good thing, you know.
Yes, and like, let me just say, like, it is the world we're living in. We're fighting, endless wars. You know, people can't get health care. We have people who can't afford groceries. Like, people are going through real things right now. We don't have time for this petty BS. We just don't have time for it. And so we fight enough with the Republicans. So
you're so right.
It's just sad.
All right, then. All right. Senator Oliver, we appreciate it. Thanks so much. Keep swinging.
Thank you.
Folks, quick break. Man, we come back. Man, we got Black Star Network headlines with Brittany Noble. And then, y'all, I got to show y'all this Afroman trial and how these cops, their feelings were hurt, they're upset. How dare he lampoon them and make fun of them? Oh, my God, y'all. The tears on the witness stand. And wait till I show y'all Afroman's response. He didn't give a damn. That's next right here on Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network.
A decade of love, joy, and power. Black Voters Matter is 10 years old, and we are just getting started. This is love with a purpose. This is Black joy in motion. This is unstoppable power. Across campuses, neighborhoods, and back roads. Let's go! We show up, not just to vote, but to be seen, to be heard, to belong. We ride together, we organize together. We remind each other that our voices matter, because they always have. Black Voters Matter is about more than ballots. It's about housing and healthcare, clean water and living wages, education, reproductive freedom, and dignity. It's about turning pain into action, turning belief into movement, turning community into power. We don't wait to be invited. We bring the energy. We bring the love. We bring the people. Because when Black communities come together, we don't just survive, we thrive. This is how change happens. This is how history moves. We organize, we build, we win.
What's up? It's Talib Kweli. I'm CEO. This is the Black Star Network.
All right, folks, time for Black Star Network headlines with Brittany Noble.
NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal has pledged to cover the funeral expenses for 12-year-old Jada West. You may recall that we reported on this story on Tuesday. Jada was tragically injured in a violent school bus incident that garnered national attention. According to police, a fight broke out between Jada and another student from Mason Creek Middle School at an intersection near her home on the afternoon of Thursday, March 5th. Her death is currently being investigated by police in suburban Villa Rica, located 30 miles west of Atlanta. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office stated that O'Neal learned about Jada's story through media reports and expressed his condolences, saying, "This story touched my heart the moment I saw it in the media. And as a father, my heart goes out to Jada's family. No parent should ever have to bury their child. And if there's anything I can do to ease even a small part of that burden, then it is the right thing to do." Well, a video recorded during a school game in Southwest Virginia has sparked outrage online after two white middle school students from the visiting team were seen waving a Confederate flag in the stands. The student who shared the video on TikTok noted that the host school where the game took place, is predominantly Black and serves students from around the world, including many from African countries. The visiting school is believed to be Hurley Elementary Middle School, whose team is called the Rebels, and their mascot features the Confederate flag. Historically, the Confederate flag is associated with the Southern states that fought to preserve slavery during the Civil War. It's also linked to racial segregation and resistance to civil rights during the 20th century. Black-owned whiskey brand Uncle Nearest, founded by Fawn and Keith Weaver, has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in Tennessee to restructure its debt and end a court-ordered receivership. At the same time, the Weavers have sued their lender, Farm Credit Mid-America, in New York for defamation, alleging the bank has engaged in a smear campaign falsely suggesting insolvency and missing inventory, which they argue has harmed the brand's reputation. The lawsuit further accuses the bank of trade libel and tortious interference, alleging that it spread false information regarding missing inventory and financial misconduct. The legal conflict arises from Farm Credit July 2025 claims that Uncle Nearest defaulted on more than $100 million in loans and overvalued its inventory by $21 million. Well, Fawn Weaver asserts that the company's estimated enterprise value is worth $529 million, refuting claims of insolvency. Additionally, she announced that the receivership mandated during the dispute with the lender has now been terminated. According to the business journals, the bankruptcy filing aims to resolve issues related to the $102.5 million balance on the loan. The United States Postal Service is warning that it could run out of cash as early as next year. In an interview with the Associated Press, the Postmaster General, David Steiner, indicated that the agency may not have enough money to pay employees or vendors by February of 2027 unless changes are made. The Postal Service, which does not rely on tax dollars, has been operating at a loss for years, borrowing millions of dollars to remain operational. Steiner is urging Congress to raise the borrowing limit and allow higher postage rates, including increasing the cost of first-class stamps from 78 cents to 95 cents. He's expected to testify before Congress later this month. Philanthropist Mackenzie Scott donates $42 million to North Carolina's historically Black university, Elizabeth City State University. School Chancellor S. Keith Hargrove Sr. announced that generous gift at the Founders Day convocation. Multi-billionaire philanthropist Scott to break records for the largest donations to historically HBCUs around the country. Her recent contributions will fund scholarships, campus improvements, and the Ascend 2030 strategic plan. As a smaller HBCU, the donation provides significant resources to support student success and institutional growth. Scott's combined donations to HBCUs exceeds $1.2 billion.
All right, folks, be sure to watch The Breakdown with Brittany Noble every day on the Black Star Network at noon Eastern. That's right, noon Eastern right here on the Black Star Network. All right, y'all, this next story is absolutely hilarious. The rapper Afroman, best known for the song Because I Got High, has been in an Ohio courtroom this week after sheriff's deputies sued him for making a set of songs mocking them. It all started when deputies raided Afroman's home in August of 2022. During the raid, deputies broke through Afroman's front gate, busted down his front door. Police said they were searching for narcotics, but no charges were ever filed. Well, the rapper said, I'll pay y'all asses back. So he used the video footage from the raid and a music video for two songs, one called Will You Help Me Repair My Door, and another one called Lemon Pound Cake, a reference to the fact that one of the cops was caught on camera glancing at a cake in his kitchen during the raid. Let's just go ahead and roll the videos.
The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass break. They found no kidnapping victims, just some lemon pound cake. Mama's lemon pound cake. It tastes so nice. It made the sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice. Of what? Of what? Lemon pound cake. He wanna put down his Glock. Lemon pound cake. Trending on TikTok. Lemon pound cake. He's a family guy. Lemon pound cake. The munchies because he got hot. Lemon pound cake. Pound cake. He's a Adams County sheriff. Randy Walters is the son of a bitch. Ooh, yeah. That's why I fucked his wife and got filthy rich. Ooh, yeah. Randy Walters is the son of a bitch. That's why I fucked your wife and got. The British are coming, the British are coming. Hide your money, your kids and your woman. White supremacists on my premises. What is this? A racist feminist? Why you disconnecting my video camera? Why you disconnecting my video camera? Why you disconnecting my video camera? We ought to throw crooked cops in the slammer. Why you disconnecting my video camera? Why you disconnecting my video camera? Will you help me repair my door? Did you find what you was looking for? Will you help me repair my gate and door? Would you like a slice of lemon pound cake? You can take as much as you wanna take. There must be a big mistake. Would you like to have a slice of my lemon pound cake? The warrant said narcotics and kidnapping. The warrant said narcotics and kidnapping. Are you kidding? I make my money rapping. Why does the warrant say narcotics? Well, I know narcotics, but why kidnapping? Let me ask you something.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Y'all, some of the testimony is hilarious. I want y'all to listen to this right here.
Sean, you were called Officer Pound Cake by Mr. Foreman?
Multiple times. Received hundreds of pound cakes at work from different people.
And the context of that name comes from a music video that Mr. Foreman created, correct?
I don't know where he got it at, but you'd have to ask him that question.
The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door.
All right, y'all, so they were on that stand crying. Okay, and this is the Adams County Sheriff. Now, y'all, here's the problem, y'all. This happened in Ohio. So the Adams County Sheriff in Colorado, they were like, you know what? We need to get in on this too. Watch this.
So
So some of you have heard, most of you haven't. Adams County Sheriff's Office in Ohio and Afroman are in litigation with each other. We know some of you have heard it, though. So we want to provide you a quick geography lesson. We are the Adams County Sheriff's Office in Colorado. They are the Adams County Sheriff's Office in Ohio. So, before you start sending us messages, calling us, emailing us, DMing us, you may want to Google it.
Y'all, everybody's clowning their asses. Hold on, we got some other, okay, watch this. Go.
Receiving hairline or dipshit refers to, please?
I'm sorry?
What private fact of yours does that refer to?
Well, I mean, there's a picture of me, and let's see here, talking about, see, I wouldn't trust him with methamphetamine crack ass alone in my house.
So,
I find that pretty insulting.
so that statement is
That's,
what you're suing?
well, no. I told you this is one of many.
Well, and that's why
You
we're
keep
trying to
you keep trying to make it singular. I'm telling you it's not singular, it's plural.
Okay, and so one of them is dipshit, one is receding hairline,
Yep.
and the other is meth heads.
Yes.
Is there any more?
Well, when he's sitting there making accusations against the organization that I, at that time, was working for, destroying community trust, all based off of a lie, that's what ultimately stopped.
And that's community trust in the Adams County Sheriff's Department, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, hold up, y'all. I got some other ones. Let's see here. Let's see here. I got to play some more, y'all, because this is, I mean, when I say this is funny as hell, oh my God, it was utterly hilarious listening. Okay, listen to this one here.
To you personally during your career?
In my entire career?
Yes.
I never had anything until this came about.
You never had anybody
Not call me
about being a thief and
No.
your wife was charged with theft?
No.
When your wife pled guilty to stealing from her employer?
Tell me why you would do that to the jury.
Your Honor,
Why
I
would
would
you
ask
do that to the jury?
Your Honor, I'm asking a question that builds on his reputation. He says he's never been called a thief before, yet he keeps saying that everybody treats him differently. This goes to his reputation. He is used to this. Has happened before. To say that this is the only thing causing him problems that's ever hurt his reputation, he's opening up the door so that I can ask the question about what's affecting his reputation.
See it. So I'm going to allow this so you can see how it does or does not affect him alone. Just don't get caught up that your spouse's character is your character, because it's not.
So restate the question, Mr. Step. Your wife did steal from her employer, correct?
Yes.
And it was a felony sum of money, correct?
Yes.
Which is over $1,000.
Yes.
And you were part of the search of Mr. Foreman's residence, correct?
Yes.
Did you ever have any contact with the money?
I noticed money in a coat pocket, and I pointed it out to Detective Mullin.
And is that the money that Mr. Newman testified earlier that was upstairs?
That should have been some of it, yes. I didn't do the collection of it.
Oh my God. Okay, y'all. All right. So I gotta play hold on, which one is this one? Roll this.
Called Officer Pound Cake by Mr. Foreman?
Multiple times.
You
received hundreds of pound cakes at work from different people.
Okay. And the context of that.
I just had to play the pound cake one again. Okay, all right. So let's see here. Do you have any more? Oh yeah. Oh my God. Rollins.
30 years.
Got into the mind of kids pretty well.
Yes.
When they would play Mr. Foreman's song Lemon Pound Cake, did they take that as a literal fact from your observations?
No.
Were they laughing and joking about it?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Are you familiar with the song W.A.P.?
I think I've heard it.
Yeah. I'm going to give you the complete song and then summarize it because I don't want to say it once. Are you familiar with the song Wet Ass Pussy?
Yes,
Is that a rap song?
it is.
Has your students played it in class?
Once, and I asked them to please turn it off.
When they were listening to it, did they think that was fact?
No,
So they didn't think that that was depicting anything in real life?
no,
So you didn't have to teach them that wasn't real?
right. No, I did not.
You've heard the song, correct?
Yes.
Do you believe it's a literal interpretation?
No,
Would you agree it's derogatory towards women?
no,
Even though it says nasty things about them?
yeah, no. I mean, it's the artist's opinion, I guess. That's the way I feel.
Maybe not an opinion you like, but...
Yeah.
So, Ms. Grooms, has Mr. Foreman's posts about Sean or any of the general posts about the Adams County Sheriff's Department as a whole affected your life any at all?
No,
Would you believe it would have affected your life while you were married to Sean?
if it had any effect, I guess that would be the time it would have an effect.
But as his spouse, you would have expected.
Yes.
And I don't want you to go into too many details, but is it fair to say that Mr. Foreman, the posts about the police department, everything had not a damn thing to do with your relationship between you and Sean and
No.
it came to an end?
No, it did not.
So the posts never affected your life?
My man's like, is there any truth to if WAP is real? She was like, well. Okay, all right. They had some closing arguments, and this is what the cop's attorney, let me find it, said in the closing arguments. Let me go ahead and play this, y'all. Listen. Play it. All right, not sure why we're getting audio, because I got audio up. So he said, he was like, he posted that Lisa Phillips likes to have sex with other women. And if y'all rule in his favor, this is just going to be wrong. It's just going to be wrong. It's going to be wrong. And this was the closing arguments of Afroman's attorney. Guys, what? All right, sorry. Okay, so, okay, fine. Play the verdict.
In all circumstances, the jury finds in favor of the defendant. No plaintiff verdict prevailed. So the matter will be concluded with defense verdicts. Thank you, Mr. Klingler. Thank you, Mr. Osborne. Thank you to the court staff and the Sheriff's Department for security in the building. And we'll go ahead and stand in adjournment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So they sued him for defamation. Afroman was like, yo, I'm gonna sit here, and wear this United States flag suit because he was filing for the First Amendment.
No lawsuit.
Okay, so let's do this right here. So let's I'm gonna get ready to play this here. So here's some of what Afroman had to say when he took the stand.
No, I posted it because the sheriff's never supposed to raid my house in the first place. The whole raid was a mistake. All of this is their fault. If they hadn't wrongly raided my house, there would be no lawsuit. I would not know their names. They wouldn't be on my body. They wouldn't be on my home surveillance system. And there would be no songs, nothing. My money would still be intact, nothing. So all of this is their fault.
She raided my house. She disconnected my camera. Then she went down on my spouse. I just don't know what I'm gonna do. Y'all keep on laughing. She gonna eat your wife's pussy. Come on, Lisa. Make a rolling style. Pussy high. Lisa. Come on, Lisa. Make a rolling style. When Liquor Lisa joined the Adams County Sheriff's Department, husband was complaining because she was munching on their wife's carpet. Lisa licked him slow, Lisa licked him fast, Lisa licked that pussy, Lisa licked that. Get beat up or Epstein at the sheriff's station after I seen him running around my house with AR-15s. So that's why I brought the news and my attorney, so to make sure I got out of that place with my money.
You brought the news to protect you physically.
Yeah.
You didn't bring the news because you already knew there was a miscount and you were going to make.
I didn't know nothing about the miscount. I didn't know. I figured they stole my money. They turned my cameras off. So if you turn my cameras off, you must got something bad in mind. So yeah, I'm accusing them of it. You know, they turned my cameras off. I can't see what they're doing. So I'm accusing.
So your testimony under oath here today to these 10 jurors is that you brought the news when you picked up your money to protect you physically from being beat up or shot by the sheriffs, right?
Yes. And they volunteered the information that the money wasn't right. That's just an extra something we found out. But I came with my attorney and the news to make sure the people running around my house with guns didn't take me into jail and do something.
You had a safe in your home, correct?
2 of them.
2 safes. Did the sheriffs look into those safes, to your knowledge?
Yes, they did. Yes.
And how did they get the combination?
I gave it to my ex-wife so the sheriffs wouldn't pull my safe out the floor, take it to the station and put something in it and try to say that whatever they put in my safe was mine. So I went ahead and gave my ex-wife, who I didn't want to give my combination to, it was just safer. I went ahead and gave her my combination so they could open up the safe and realize that they just vandalized somebody that don't even have nothing in the safe.
And do you know what was in those safes?
It was absolutely nothing in the safes.
Don't you keep jewelry in those safes?
No, because...
You told me that in your deposition that you keep jewelry in those safes?
I do.
Was anything missing from the safes when you got home after the search?
I didn't put nothing in the safes.
Was anything missing from the safes when you got home?
Nothing was in them, so nothing was missing from the safe.
You're solely being...
He's like, look, I ain't want to give my ex-wife my combination. Y'all, do y'all understand how hilarious this is? I mean, I'm talking about, y'all, they was crying straight up tears on the stand. And so this here, give me 1 second, let me set it up. This is Afroman outside the courthouse after the judge ruled in his favor.
Yeah, we did it, America. Yeah, we did it. Freedom of speech. Right on, right on. Yeah, God bless America. Yeah, power to the people. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I understand that Negro had on he had on a U.S. flag suit, a U.S. flag tie. He had some U.S. flag shades. I mean, he's straight.
And a fresh manicure.
Hey, my dog was like, hey, I'm letting y'all know
manicure.
this trial is about the First Amendment, Joy. Do we have our guests? We got our guests. All right. Bring up attorney Nicole Robinson. Nicole, you there?
I'm here. Hello.
All right. So explain first of all, this was a defamation trial. So these cops were saying that Afroman defamed them by making these videos and using the actual footage from them storming his crib.
Mm-hmm.
So explain why the jury didn't buy that.
Well, we all knew this was foolishness from the beginning. All of America knew that. But what it really likely came down to was whether this was fact or opinion. Now, there are a lot of things that courts and juries will consider when they're determining whether or not something that someone said was an opinion. For example, the context of the statement, whether it was a joke, the specific language that the person used. But here we see that Afroman was talking about cartoon characters and sexuality. None of that is fact. And even on the stand, they couldn't even say that those were facts. They all said that those were also opinions. So that's what it came down to.
So is it because he was so outlandish and so over the top and so outrageous that they're like, no one would think there's a factual basis for the crazy stuff that he said?
Exactly. That was part of his artistic expression, creative expression. It was also social commentary. I mean, we saw the videos and the Instagram posts. We all knew that they were jokes. Even when they were on the stand, they couldn't say that these were true statements and true opinions that he was trying to convince people of.
So you had 7 Ohio deputies who were suing him. First of all, what people have to recognize, Joe, I'm gonna go to you first, is that we were Al Yankovic did these videos. In fact, Luther Campbell of 2 Live Crew also is a part of this. His case went to the Supreme Court, and he won because the courts allowed for artists to make parody songs or videos. And that's essentially what Afroman was doing.
Absolutely. And this is also the importance of having a good attorney. A good attorney is going to tell you, one, this is going to make matters worse for you because what was something that none of us knew about is now something everyone knows about. And, this is a rapper, an artist, exercising his First Amendment rights, but also we give artists even more leeway, right? And these are also police officers, many of them public figures. They were engaged in official acts. All of that is something that you consider. These are things that were recorded. They knew the cameras were there. They're engaging, and we should all be able to watch what law enforcement is doing, especially in your home. So he was using footage that was within his right to use. And so I can't imagine why they would have thought this would be successful. And it made them feel, it was incredibly silly. If I were advising Afroman, I would say leave people's wives alone. But for the rest, it was pitch perfect.
Nah, he was like, nah, I'm hitting everybody. First of all, Brian, I love this look right here. This reminded me when Michael Irvin came into court with that mink coat on. My man got the white mink with the U.S. flag. I mean, my man Brian, the tears, the lyrics, the video, oh my God, this was just perfect. And again, I have to remind people, he was standing saying, I have a First Amendment right to do this. He was saying that I am constitutionally protected.
Yeah, you're right. First of all, full disclosure, guys, I'm a huge Afroman fan. Because I Got High is a cult classic, okay? It is a cult classic. I saw him in Vegas a few years ago. He's funny. He's a great entertainer. So maybe I'm a little biased. That's number one. Number two, the joy I got from watching some of those, forgive me for saying this, ignorant white people on the stand and a woman crying as she has to listen to an Afroman song, which is probably torture for her because she's an idiot. Watching her cry, maybe this makes me a bad person, but I kind of enjoyed that a little bit. I don't know. I love the fact that he shows up in court with that outfit. I love the fact that outside the courtroom, there were fans of his that were out there cheering. And my question is, did taxpayer dollars have to go to those cops that hired attorneys for this defamation suit? Because I think those cops should have to pay for those attorneys, and it shouldn't be the taxpayer. That's my personal opinion. They're the ones that screwed up in the first place. They should have never brought this defamation, to the forefront. So my question to you would be, did the taxpayers have to pay for those attorneys?
No, I think that they were filing in their personal capacity. You know what?
Okay.
I just got to play one more of these cops. I just got to play one more of one of these cops on the witness stand. Y'all check this out.
Is it true that Mr. Foreman called you a hunchback?
Yes.
And specifically compared you to Quasimodo,
Yes.
the Disney hero?
I'm assuming that's who it is.
Quasimodo from the Disney movie, The Hunchback of Notre Dame?
I've never watched it, so I don't know.
So you would agree that when a person says that someone's a crooked defense attorney, they're not meaning that I'm like a vine, they're meaning that as a opinion, correct?
Correct.
Would you agree that when someone calls you a thief, it might be an opinion of theirs?
Can be, yeah.
Same as if when people say crooked cops, it's just an opinion?
Yeah.
And so is your entire claim for false light that you were called a thief?
Yes.
And you would agree that Mr. Foreman is an artist subject to exaggeration?
I guess so, yeah.
And just for the sake of question, nobody would ever think you're Quasimodo from the book, correct?
I don't guess. People think different things.
Nicole, that attorney, just so we're clear, no one really thinks you're Quasimodo, huh? I got to give it to the attorney for keeping a straight ass face and asking these questions.
No, he did a great job, but he asked what needed to be asked. I mean, I don't even know how the officers thought they would be able to prove damages if they couldn't say that people thought that they were cartoon characters or Quasimodo or that their hairline was receding. They couldn't even express how they were actually harmed by the statements. So the attorney did a great job in asking these questions.
I'm just sitting here, y'all, just laughing. I'm like, do y'all understand how this one here still got me? Go.
Saves hundreds of pound cakes at work from different people.
And the context of that name comes from a music video that Mr. Foreman created, correct?
I don't know where he got it at, but you'd have to ask him that question.
Okay. Well, I'm going to play what's marked Defense Exhibit D. I'd like you to watch this.
Okay.
Oh, you guys are in Oh.
Y'all know he what up, pound cake? Oh my!
Can I just say, Roland, that woman that was up there crying, listening to his music, that's the way I look when I listen to country music or Kid Rock. I just wanted to say that and add that.
Can we talk? Take a pause. The whole WAP conversation.
Oh,
I mean, she seemed intrigued.
No, I mean that was some, but that was some excellent lawyering there, Nicole, by saying, so do you believe that WAP is true or not? Is it really wet? Oh my God, she was like,
everything a menopausal woman wants.
oh my God, that was hilarious. Yo, and she was the ex-wife of one of the cops. So she like, yo, why am I here? She like, why am I here? Matter of fact, since Joy was so intrigued, let's hear that testimony again.
30 years.
Got into the mind of kids pretty well.
Yes.
When they would play Mr. Foreman's song Lemon Pound Cake, did they take that as a literal fact from your observations?
No.
Were they laughing and joking about it?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Are you familiar with the song W.A.P.?
I think I've heard it.
Try that. I'm going to give you the complete song and then summarize it because I don't want to say it once. Are you familiar with the song Wet Ass Pussy?
Yes.
Is that a rap song?
It is.
Has your students played it in class?
Once, and I asked them to please turn it off.
When they were listening to it, did they think that was fact?
No.
So they didn't think that that was depicting anything in real life?
No.
So you didn't have to teach them that wasn't real?
Right. No, I did not.
So, ma'am, you did not have to teach them that wasn't real? And I'm sure someone on that jury was like, well, I think it could be real.
I wish it were real.
Let me play the rest of it.
You've heard
You and she.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do you believe it's a literal interpretation?
No.
Would you agree it's derogatory towards women?
No.
Even though it says nasty things about them?
Yeah. No. I mean, it's the artist's opinion, I guess. That's the way I feel.
Maybe not an opinion you like, but...
Yeah.
So, Ms. Grooms, has Mr. Foreman's posts about Sean or any of the general posts about the Adams County Sheriff's Department as a whole affected your life any at all?
No.
Would you believe it would have affected your life while you were married to Sean?
If it had any effect, I guess that would be the time it would have an effect.
But as his spouse, you would have expected?
Yes.
And I don't want you to go into too many details, but is it fair to say that Mr. Foreman, the posts about the police department, everything had not a damn thing to do with your relationship between you and Sean? And
No.
it came to an end?
No, it did not.
So the posts never affected your life, never affected your marriage?
No.
So any statement to the contrary would be false?
Yes.
She was like, there was no WAP in that marriage. All right.
Therein lies the problem.
She like, that's why I ain't with him. All right.
None of these men are listening WAPs.
Oh my God. So, all right. So so Nicole, again. So for people to understand, this is why if you're a singer or a rapper, you need to understand the law and how the law can save your ass when you drive. Like, we're used to diss songs and beefs and stuff along those lines. We got to understand what the law says when it comes to parodies.
Exactly. And the good thing here is that police officers have limited protection when it comes to criticism. The Supreme Court has said over and over again that the American people deserve to know what's going on, what police officers are doing, because we all know they be running amok around this country sometimes. And I hate to give any deference to our founders, but this is the whole point of the First Amendment to allow people to criticize the government and arms of the government like police officers here.
Well, Brian, and what was genius, he used the body cam and the surveillance footage from his cameras and from their cameras, and he said, hey, that was my house. So it was his house, and that's public. I mean, those are police departments. That's public evidence.
Perfectly legal, and he actually made a better music video because of doing that. It was actual real footage. Artists do that all the time. They use real footage from different events and videos. This just so happened to be his own footage that he owns. These police officers, they have their body camera on. They don't have their body camera on. Well, they couldn't do that this time. And I think it's great that he used this footage in his videos. And I think it makes it more authentic. And I'm sorry that he had to go through this, by the way. That's not funny. What's funny is the testimony and everything else. And his videos are hilarious. His lyrics are absolutely hilarious. And the fact that he's using actual real video and talking about pound cake and all the other stuff he's talking about, I just think it's so funny. And that's why he's so popular. I'm glad he won. And what an embarrassment for those law enforcement officers. Like, how embarrassing would they have to go home and tell their wives and tell their friends, oh, we lost. I mean, it's so stupid. But hey, in the long run, he won because this will make him even more popular and his music even more popular. And I love him more for it. So in the end, he wins.
Oh, hell yeah. We already reached out to him. I got to have him on the show.
Yep.
And I hope he wears that whole get up. So, Joy, I hope you've not been traumatized by today's segment.
I was almost traumatized, but I have to say the saddest part of this whole damn thing is that these people vote. Oh my goodness.
There you go. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Well. All right. Nicole Robinson, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Joy, we appreciate it. Brian, thanks a lot. Y'all, oh my God, this was wonderful. Don't forget, y'all, support the work that we do. See, y'all, ain't no other network gonna have 40 minutes on the Afroman trial. They ain't gonna play all that. And they sure not gonna play WAP. So, y'all, be sure to support Roland Martin Unfiltered, the Black Star Network. Join our Bring the Funk fan club. You want to give us via Cash App. Listen, that segment right there is why all 3,000 plus of y'all watching live should be given right now. Cash App, use the Stripe QR code. You see it right here. That's also for credit cards. What are you doing, Joy? What are you doing? Joy over there. Like, can I get a table dance? Can I get a table dance? Joy, what are you doing? Oh, Lord. Joy is, we know what's going to be on her playlist when the show ends. All right. Check it. Look, listen, I see, Nicole, this is your first time here. This is a black show, Nicole.
I'm here for it.
And Brian, no, we got all the seasoning on this show.
Mm-hmm.
I love it, man. I needed a good laugh, Roland. Okay, I needed a good laugh. Yes. There's a lot of stressful stuff in the news. This was a fun 45 minutes. Probably the most fun I've had doing a show in a long time. So thank you for that. I thank you, Roland. This was very entertaining.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it, all three of y'all. Say it again, Joy.
I'm gonna go take my mother's calls.
Yeah,
Just please.
Your mama like, baby, how can I download WAP? All right, we gotta go. Checks and money order. Make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered, P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. PayPal, R. Martin Unfiltered, Venmo, RM Unfiltered, Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com, Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Hey, y'all don't log off, because y'all know I got something coming up to close the show out. And, of course, download the Black Star Network app, Apple phone, Android phone, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Samsung Smart TV. Be sure to get our Roland Martin Unfiltered swag by going to shopblackstarnetwork.com. Hats, t-shirts, all that good stuff. And of course, y'all, we've got all these black-owned products right here as well. All these are black-owned products. I mean, we got sauces, seasoning, we got Christmas decorations. Man, we got skincare stuff for your hair. We got pecans. We got animal treats, backpacks. We got black-owned toilet paper, skincare stuff, shaving cream, all that good stuff. candles. So go to shopblackstarnetwork.com, shopblackstarnetwork.com, and spread the word, pass it around, support these black-owned businesses by going to shopblackstarnetwork.com. Download the Fanbase app. Follow me at Roland S. Martin. Be sure to check out Brittany Noble tomorrow on the breakdown of Brittany Noble at noon Eastern. Let's close the show out with Afroman. Holla!
Randy Walters is the son of a bitch. Ooh, yeah, that's why I fucked his wife and got filthy rich. Ooh, yeah. Randy Walters is the son of a bitch. That's why I fucked your wife and got filthy rich. Hey Randy, fix my dough, fix my dough. Stop stealing my dough, stop stealing my dough. Stop disconnecting my videos. Fix my dough, fix my dough. Stop stealing my dough, stop stealing my dough. Stop disconnecting my videos. Fix my dough, fix my dough. Stop stealing my dough, stop stealing my dough. Stop disconnecting my videos. Fix my dough, fix my dough. Stop stealing my dough, stop stealing my dough. Stop disconnecting my videos. If you're pressing charges, let me know. If there's no kidnap victims, let me go. Stop cutting off my video, listening to that unconfidential hoe. Crooked Popo. Randy Walters is the son of a bitch. Ooh, yeah, that's why I fucked his wife and got filthy rich. Ooh, yeah. Randy Walters is the son of a bitch. That's why I fucked your wife and got filthy rich. Randy Walters is so rotten. He's hooked on coke and Oxycontin. In Manchester long ago, he owed a drug dealer lots of dough. He tried to run like a track star. He got stuck trying to hide underneath the car. He became the chief of Manchester. Now Manchester is a disaster. He pulls you over, he steals your pills, your Oxycontin, and your dollar bills. He's a drug addict, he got fired, he went to Adams County, somehow he got hired. Cow stealing Kimmy Rogers, he's a bullshitter. He needs to stop hiring criminals and knocking up his babysitter. Randy Walters is the son of a bitch. Ooh, yeah. That's why I fucked his wife and got filthy rich. Ooh, yeah. Randy Walters is the son of a bitch. Bitch. That's why I fucked your wife and got filthy rich. Hey Randy, fix my dough, fix my dough. Stop stealing my dough, stop stealing my dough. Stop disconnecting my videos. Fix my dough, fix my dough. Stop stealing my dough, stop stealing my dough. Stop disconnecting my videos. The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass break. They found no kidnapping victims, just some lemon pound cake. Mama's lemon pound cake. It tastes so nice. It made the sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice. Of what? Of what? Lemon pound cake. He wanna put down his Glock. Lemon pound cake. Trending on TikTok. Lemon pound cake. He's a family guy. Lemon pound cake. Munchies because he got high. Lemon pound cake. Pound cake. He's a Adams County Sheriff. He's hungry and he's big as hell. He was sniffing for weed. Then he smelled another smell. What was that? Mama's lemon pound cake. It tastes so nice. It made the sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice. Of what? Of what? Lemon pound cake. He wanna put down his Glock. Lemon pound cake. Trending on TikTok. Lemon pound cake. He's a family guy. Lemon pound cake. Munchies because he got high. Lemon pound cake. Pound cake. He sees my cake and my porno mag called Boom Boom. Something happened to his camera on the way to the evidence room. Mama's lemon pound cake. It tastes so nice. Make the sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice. Of what? Of what? Lemon pound cake. He wanna put down his Glock. Lemon pound cake. Trending on TikTok. Lemon pound cake. He's a family guy. Lemon pound cake. The munchies because he got high. Lemon pound cake. Pound cake. Lemon pound cake. He wanna put down his Glock. Lemon pound cake. Trending on TikTok. Lemon pound cake. He's a family guy. Lemon pound cake. The munchies because he got high. Lemon pound cake. Pound cake.